Coach, go ahead with your opening remarks, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, excited to be here. Another season, year 3 for me, and it's always exciting to be here to see the other teams and the players, and seems like it's going to be an incredible league this year, and excited to be here and be a part of it. Any questions? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Do I need this? Can I just answer your question? Okay, I'll answer it. All right.
You're optimistic that the Pac-12 can have a better overall season this year than last year?
Yeah, no question. I felt like, the key to having success, especially in the NCAA tournament, is great seeding. And we obviously had I think it was 11 seed, 9 seed, and 12 seed. We all won games, which I thought was a great thing for the Pac-12. Oregon going far. I think it showed where our league is. I think with the recruiting classes, 10 of the top 50 players in the country coming to our league enhances our league, gives it more exposure in a good way. 3 new great coaches in our league, and so we've got to be able to win some games early. I think scheduling's been a big part of it. We have the new scheduling system in our league, which I think will help upgrade, and we're just trying to make our league the best league in the country, and it starts with us winning in November. So we're excited about that.
What have you seen out of Jaden McDaniels in practice so far?
Seeing a lot of length, a lot of talent, but most importantly, with young guys, is just how smart of a basketball player he is. He's not only is exceptionally talented, but he makes others around him better. Impacts the game in a lot of different ways. Really excited for him.
And how have you seen Sam Timmons develop over the course of his time?
I think Sammy has really improved. I thought freshman year, he had some big impact games for us at USC, Kansas. Last year, a little bit erratic, up and down, but he's a big part of when we took over the program, part of culturally wise, and knows the system. And when you have a team where you have a lot of young guys, he's been able to help them learn the system quicker. Should have a great year.
Do you notice his rugby background at all?
He's just what Sammy is. Sammy's just a great teammate. He's got a lot of talent, but his leadership ability, understands the system, and he just wants to win. And that's the culture we're trying to create at Washington, and he's been a great example of that, especially for the young guys. Thank you.
What did you learn about your team in Italy? Did you come back with any cool clothes?
I didn't come back with any cool clothes. I have no cool clothes. But Italy was a great experience for us just to get to know each other. I think when you have a young team, a lot of new pieces, if we didn't do the Italy thing, we'd still be trying to figure out, okay, in a game situation, what will he do? Italy was a great opportunity for us to, play equal minutes for the most part. We had 3 decent games. We had 1 really competitive game, and it got the younger guys to understand how we're going to coach as a staff and what we expect. And so not only was it great on the basketball court, but also great for team bonding because no one got sick of each other. 10 days.
It seemed like you were playing a lot of man-to-man in Italy.
Yeah.
Was that just experimental?
It was just hoodwink, make sure all the opponents are watching the games on flow hoops. They're going to play man. No, we it was, Percy, it's a great question. We've always, when we first got the job, it was interesting because we wanted to press. I mean, we were doing West Virginia press. We were doing it, and we decided that the zone was the way we were going to go. We want to keep evolving, getting better, and give us the best opportunity to win. And so we felt like, we've been working on it in practice. We have a new transition with, losing, 5 guys from last year's team, a lot of experience. And we feel like the man-to-man, how we're trying to play it, could actually be a great off-speed pitch for us. I think we know what our brand is and how we play, but man-to-man is something that I think we can do and do it really effective this year as well.
Hey, and then obviously it was just announced this morning, but the 2-year series now with Oklahoma District.
Yeah. We're really excited working with Oakview Group and MGM Resorts, and it's hard to get games, and for the Pac-12 to be able to go out and put this event on and to be able to play a competitive team from a great conference in Las Vegas and then go to Dallas, and another great media market for us in terms of recruiting the future is just, we're so excited. I know the coaches in our league are really excited about the opportunity to get that, and especially be on our turf and in such a great city like Las Vegas. Excited.
Any updates on Quad A?
No updates. We're still in the process. He's obviously been practicing, been great, but still waiting for an answer.
How much different does the team look with him?
Well, I think, he didn't get to play with us in Italy, but him in practice, obviously he's an elite point guard. He's arguably one of our best shooters, and he makes everyone around us better, around him better. But, Elijah and Marcus have done a great job adjusting to how we want them to play. They give you two different dynamic style point guards. Elijah, Percy was talking about man-to-man, can really get up in you. Like, he's a really good on-ball defender. We think that could be a really, beneficial for us in the man. Marcus plays like a 35-year-old veteran. He's got great size. He is, with pressure that Elijah's putting on him in Quad A, he can get you into your offense and run the team. But there's so much learning curve from experience. When you had David and Matisse, it was like you knew what you were going to get. So we're estimating there'll be bumps in the road, but the guys that are getting better, and we believe in.
What do you want your team to be known for?
Basketball-wise, everybody knows, defensively, we can be one of the best teams in the country. I think, we hang our head on defense. The big thing, if you talk about University of Washington basketball, the word that we stress and everything is family. We talk about tougher together. And so the proudest moment is one of your kids, what are you guys about? We're about family. And, I was looking in one of the offices of one of the people that work at the Pac-12, and they had a sign that said, the star of the team is the team. And I took a picture of it, and we're stealing it. But it's really what it's all about, playing for something greater than yourself. And it's what, the culture that we're trying to create.
You've got some real length and some real versatile pieces.
Yeah.
It must be fun to tinker once in a while. You tinkered with any of those big, long guys at top?
We have a lot of superheroes, it would be a good Marvel comic, Jaden. We've got a lot of length, we've got a lot of athleticism, we got a lot of depth, and now it's putting it together. And some guys might have different roles. There's a lot of growth there, and so we're going to have some growing pains, I'm sure. We have a really competitive schedule. We start off with Baylor, who's a top 25 team out in Alaska. You're coming back, after, a game, and then we'll be playing, Tennessee and Toronto. Obviously, we got the Zags, and you've got Hawaii. So we'll be tested early. We believe last year the strength of our schedule is what helped us not only do well in the Pac-12, but do well in the tournament and get to the tournament. And so it should be really exciting. A lot of unknowns, but I think exciting. I think we have shot makers, so I wouldn't say, Raekwon Battle, a freshman. Everybody talks about Isaiah. We've talked about Isaiah. We've talked about Jaden. We've talked about Marcus. Raekwon Battle, I thought in high school basketball and AAU was one of the best shooters in the country. We believe. So that's great. Quad A Green, that's one of his strengths. So having him early, he's a really good three-point shooter, proven in college. But we hang our hat on defense. If we can really defend, we were 18th in the country in Ken Palm defensively. We believe that we can be even better than that with our new length and athleticism, and then with our offensive, guys like Isaiah, Jaden, Nas. If we just share the ball, we can get good shots. We've got some pretty high level talent.
In regards to the rotation, you got about 10 or 11 guys deep once Quad A is eligible. What does that ideal rotation look like once we hit mid-January?
Oh gosh, it's going to be for me. People always say, I worked for a coach, Coach Boeheim, would always go 7 or 8. And it was always like the recruiting thing. Well, he only plays 7 or 8. You don't want to go there. But I'm challenging myself as a coach too. It's somewhere where you have to learn, because we've got guys who are really effective. You got a guy like Nate Roberts, who redshirted last year, who's made huge improvements. No one even knows he exists, but boy, is he talented. And so you got to find ways to get these guys on the court, and everybody's going to have a different role. And it's what you would call a high-level problem, but it's still a problem, and it's something that I've got to get better as a coach with our staff working to how we can get these guys in and still keep a flow and a rhythm.
Coach, I'm from the Salt Lake Tribune, and you talked about having a little bit of a rough,
Yeah.
going early. That's another team that's also probably going to struggle a little early because of the youth. Do you feel like yours is a little more of a veteran? You feel veteran compared to them, and also what do you see ahead for them?
Utah?
Yeah.
Well, he's arguably one of the best coaches in our league. He's always done it. They play incredible defense. When you have turnover, I think there's always the unknown. But for the most part, I think when you have new guys, there's always early bumps in the road. Unfortunately, with the NCAA and tournament and stuff, a lot of it weighs on early season, November and December, to what you do in the non-conference. And I think they got a great coach. They got really good players. And, I know every time I remember a year ago when they were in the NIT, I was calling them like, represent the Pac-12. You're such a stud. I just love everything about them. And I'm a Pac-12 homer now. Every game I watch, I'm just rooting for all the coaches. And I always feel like we're on the defense. And I was really happy with the performance of the teams in the NCAA tournament last year, and obviously Colorado and USC's got a great class, and I'm just excited for the future. And all we can do is you can't worry about that. We just got to worry about the future, and I think we're going in the right direction.
Your pick to finish third, do you think that's all right, or?
I don't know. Time will tell on that. Last year, I think we were picked third. The year before, we were picked 12th. You just got to go out and. I think everything changes. I think there's, you look at Colorado, they're just so talented, and they've got the guys back, and Coach Boyle, they're like the toughest team always in the league every year. And so, I think there's a lot of sleepers too. I think anytime you get new coaches, Mark Fox, Kyle Smith, they're great coaches. They'll win more games than they have in the past. They've got different strategies. They'll be new in the league. Mick Cronin, at Syracuse, we had played Cincinnati a lot, and it'll be fun to watch what he does with his team. And, it'll be a great year in the Pac-12 this year. I really predict that. It's really exciting. Really good coaches, really good teams. And, but third, fifth, ninth, we just got to go out and play and try to reach our potential.
You have an interesting dynamic with so many guys leaving and so much talent. You're probably more talented. Do you feel like this team could be better even than last year? If not?
Potentially on paper, yes. If you look at the metrics and you look at what they are, yes. But it goes back to we got to be able to put it together. Nothing takes away chemistry. You got to have great chemistry. Everybody's got to play for each other, and if we can do that, we should be a really tough team to beat.
Do you have a thought on this new bill in California and the potential to recruit against something like that?
You know what, Percy? We've talked about it. I've read some articles about it. I don't know enough about it. I think the most important thing is that we get educated. The student athletes get educated on it. What it really means. Is it one player that gets sponsored by, if it's the Olympic model, Snickers or whatever it is? Is it not, ticket sales? Like, how does it work? What's the structure? But they've got some of the best minds in the sport, especially in the NCAA, trying to work out and understand the ins and outs of it. But I'm not too. I need to be more educated on it before I talk about it.
You had a viewing party with the dog pack
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
The game wasn't great, but what was that like?
Just being around this, I think the great college basketball environments have great home court advantages, great college programs. And, I know when we first got the job, it was really connecting with the dog pack. I had heard so many times that they say University of Washington is the hardest place to play when it's rolling. It was hard. The students are right on top of you. And so, we've been trying to build relationships with them from day one. Will Conroy is with them throwing the ball and just connecting. And so to be able to go out and support our football team, our football program, and interact with the students, a lot of the freshmen, new dog pack members, was really, really cool. And you couldn't do it without them. You can't do it without them. Those guys bring the juice, bring the energy. They get the 75-year-olds up and going. And so that's the energy rises everybody. So excited about that.
We got time for one more question.
Yeah.
In Anchorage. Is that going to be some really interesting preparation, knowing that the football team plays the same night, and it's going to be hard to get all the fans up to Anchorage? that preparation look like when you started thinking about Baylor?
They're one of the top teams in the country. They had played Syracuse last year in the NCAA tournament, so we're familiar with it. We played them a couple times, being where I'd been, and a great coach, great program. Play a different type of zone, but they play zone. It's going to be exciting. I do know those are great games to kind of get a gauge of where we're at, and that's what you're always trying to do as a coach. We live by a hashtag DMGB. Doesn't matter, get better. Win by 30, doesn't matter, get better. Lose by 30, doesn't matter, get better. We just got to keep, like last year, we had a tough schedule. We had some good games, bad games, but we kept getting better. We're able to play well in the conference, and they get to the tournament and have a chance to play for a national championship. That's been our model. Very simple.
Okay, that's
All right,
all we have
thank you.
time for Washington. Coach, thanks for your time.